After finishing the meal, Lolly leaned on my lap, her hands stroking my waist, and started taking off my shirt. I started to panic, trying to push her away, but I stopped. She said if I stay with her tonight, my contract will be signed. You know, I tried to get it today, and I can't let things go by. Seeing me not responding, she quickly removed my clothes. Her hands are moving all over my body, and her lips are constantly rubbing against me. We had sex on the balcony. The next morning after waking up, Lolly got up to prepare breakfast food. Then we walked around the mountain border. Lolly walked while holding my hand, sometimes kissing me on the cheek. I actually shivered, but I had a contract for the whole day and won't have to see her again. In the evening, we departed for the city, and Lolly promised to sign the contract tomorrow morning. When I got home, I saw rather luxurious men's shoes entering where I found messy home furnishings, 2 glasses of wine still on the table, a male vest, and a jacket my wife on salon chair. I walked gently to the bedroom. Before I could enter the bedroom, I heard a man gasping and groaning. I opened the door wide, and it turned out that my boss and my wife, the 2 of them, were doing it right in my wedding room. Angry and frustrated when I was about to burst in, the phone rang. That is the message of Lolly. I went to the guest and went straight to her room. She prepared wine and food. I glanced over but didn't mind. My head is now full of pictures of my wife and boss. How could she treat me like that? I did it all for her. Lolly also felt my mood was not good. She came to caress me. She stimulated me with wanting to take revenge on my wife. I had sex with her until midnight. The next morning I did not go home, but went straight to the company. A while later, Lolly also came. She agreed to sign a contract and come to my boss to do some procedures. When I took her to my boss's room, I discovered that I had forgotten some documents, so I went back to get them. And do you know what I heard? Lolly is my boss's separated wife. By now I understand why the boss is afraid to appear in this project. I plan to take revenge on the man who robbed my wife. That night I made an appointment to go to Lolly's room, and she happily agreed. After the conversation, before going into the fun, I used a SIM of my wife to text the boss's address and hotel room. I'm sure when he saw this scene, he could see how I felt. This is also the way that I face my boss. The next morning, I still did not go home, but went straight to the company to see what the boss's attitude was like. But he was still very casual, as if nothing had happened. The more I got irritated, the more I went home that afternoon. My wife prepared hearty food and smiled. I didn't say anything for the whole meal until she said she wanted us to be separated. She prepared the luggage, and this was the last meal she cooked for me. I smirked and knew everything between her and the boss. Surprisingly, but Maya just said, if I care about her, pay attention to her, things won't be so bad. She added that when she went to the boss's house, he made a point. If she sleeps with the boss, then I'll be promoted to the company. The more she said, the more I found myself incompetent. And she also knew about me and Lolly staying at the hotel that night. I have no words to justify. I should have known that my years of trying why my boss has been particularly concerned and reminding me for the past few months. I shouldn't have asked my wife to come to my boss's house. I was so engrossed in my work that I forgot I was married, forgot that my wife also needed to be loved. Now I don't know whether I should continue working at this company or not, and how to get my family back to the happy and warm scene. Now I'm a mess. Everything falls apart. I still have a lot of wives, and I need my family. I decided to quit my job at the company. Now I work as a marketing and consulting customer. I occasionally come to play with my kids and visit Maya. She is now able to open a clothing shop with her own designer jeans. I opened another mini supermarket and sold the necessary things. I also actively called Maya. We met at her house. I asked her if she had any plans in the future, and did she still love me? After a while, we didn't see each other. After talking to each other, I realized we still love each other, and we needed a complete family, so our girls had both parents. I sold an old apartment, but buy a new apartment near the center to work as well as convenient for restaurant management. The old house had a lot of sad memories with our small family. The business gradually stabilized. I quit my job at the company. I will make up for my small family that I have neglected to care for because I'm too busy at work to forget the care for my wife and family. You see, in this life, people will make mistakes, but the problem is that you are committed to knowing whether to fix it or not to fix it. Family with us is always the most valuable thing. I'm too blind at work, jealous of my boss, and hate my wife. Even though both are wrong, if it wasn't for being careless and not caring about the family of me, things would be different. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to your comments below this video.